Hello, my love. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenore, and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. All right, so we are I'm trying out doing some collective readings. This is a collective reading, not specific to any sign, but specific to you. I mean, like you clicked on the reading, you activated the dang old thing, so now it's yours. All right, and let's see what these tea leaves are going to tell us today. So we are reading tea leaves here. If you are new to tea leaf reading, this is an ancient form of divination. This is something that people used likely, for daily problems, working out, I would say it's it is like a therapy. All right, these kinds of divinations, scrying, I would say, is often something like a Rorschach test, right? Everybody who looks at it might see something different. But what you see is telling of who and what and all the immense amount of information that you contain, right? All of the things that starts to come out in the things that you are seeing. But it's also the universe, right? This is a mirror. The universe, the divine, is looking into you. You are looking into it. And thus we find those symbols here. We'll begin right here with the bird. Look at this beautiful bird sitting here. You can see it is perched. Here is the little beak. So I almost am seeing like a hummingbird. That long, thin beak there. This tells me, because listen, we don't often see a hummingbird just sitting. I had the great luck of having found a hummingbird nest. It was still intact and being used last summer. I didn't disturb it. It was really neat. I had never seen one. But it makes you think about this almost like, they look like mechanical, right? They're so perfect in their movements. They're so quick, just buzzing around, full of life, busy. So when we see it kind of sitting and cooling off or taking a rest or maybe even fully sleeping, this is kind of a weird, almost uncanny feeling because we don't see these little birds in this state very often. So I feel like we must be dealing with somebody here who is just usually going, always running here, running there. I'm thinking of, my own personal life is so much about raising a daughter, a child, and going from one activity to the other and doing, the business and my own stuff and taking care of the house and all of the things that we do, right? So busy. I don't remember the last time I didn't have a full day. Maybe when I was sick, right? So I do feel like you're kind of in the same boat. Now, it might not be that you have young children, but you're a person that likes to be doing things. You like to be about. And right now, the energies have shifted. And that makes sense. We've just come into a Mercury retrograde. I say that like, oh my gosh, I'm a solar Virgo. So it does affect me greatly. And then we have this full moon eclipse in Virgo. So things are really kind of getting stirred around here for us Virgos, right? The masks locks are slipping. We cannot not say it, right? So, yeah, it makes sense that you would suddenly come into this place where it's like, okay, it's time to stop. We need that quiet. We need everything to kind of just come into a place of stillness. Now, I do think that this is about rest, but I also think it is about being able to perceive what is actually going on around you, in your life, in the greater world, and of course within the interior. But I think it's most important in those material spaces. I think often you are so booked with things and wanting to do this and that and probably, yeah, doing them, you know? But it's like you always have this anxious noise kind of in your head because you're always, I got to do this and then I got to get this in the car and I have 5 minutes and also maybe I can hit the restroom before I go and then drink a little water, or maybe I drink water first and then I do the rest of it. It's just constant stuff. I don't know. That's what my brain's like constantly. I feel like maybe you understand that as well. So we have a calming. Okay, we also have, it looks like the name Lee, L-E-E. Okay, Lee. Do you know a Lee? We also have, and I saw it earlier. Let me see if I can find it real quick because it looked important. Is this it? Yes. Is that it? Yes, P-E. Oh, there it is. There it is. There. I was thinking of, no, here. So it is P-E-T-E-R. We have Peter. Okay, the name Peter. We also have a reoccurring 4. Okay, 4 is a big number for you this week. Okay, whenever you're watching this for the next 7 days, 4. You're going to be seeing it a lot. Rest in that energy. Okay, so we also have a person, here's the head, here's the body, leg right here, like in a seated position, like if you were sitting on, the lawn somewhere, like where it's a little hill or something, and you're looking up, and what do you see? A red flag. We have a flag right here. And as I said that, I immediately saw it looks like B-O-Y, boy. We also have something about red. R-E-D, red. Again, red flag. We were just talking about that. They're often the way distant. So it's like sitting here. Okay, so we got a red flag, right? And then we have this boy. Something about maybe a boy or... we'll get to it. We'll keep looking. But back here, we also have a mountain range. We have a heart. So it's kind of, I get this like image of sitting out in like, I don't know, on the plains or, somewhere in like Montana or something. You're sitting in a little field in the long grass and you look out and you see a red flag, right? This is the theater of your mind. You are seeing that there's something going on that needs to be looked at, something that cannot be ignored, right? We're really good at ignoring red flags, I think, in the greater sense of social conditioning and conditioning through the many systems that we all partake in, wantingly or not. We're conditioned to ignore how we feel, of course. We're conditioned to stay still and, not let the energies flow through our body. So then we don't process them. So then they get stuck. So then we get the C word. And I mean, I'm sorry, I'm rambling, editorializing a little bit, but here's the thing. And when I say they, I don't know what they even means. Let me just be clear. I'm just using the, whatever, group all of the, murky, mysterious, hidden hand, whatever it is. Whatever that is, I don't know. I'm not even going to speculate. It's probably so many different things that look similar to each other. But the systems, whatever the viruses, the thought viruses are that run through these systems, they do. They want us to be detached from mind, body, soul, right? Like these things are not supposed to be in alignment. And that's by design. It's by design. So when we come into these places where we are able to be in a landscape of our mind, our mind's eye, or our perception, our intuition, our ability to recognize something that is not, on the surface level or very apparent. There is an opportunity here to not only process, but to really integrate, right? To really look at these red flags, these things that come up in life, right? Somebody made you feel weird. Somebody did something that really was sus, you go somewhere, you walk into a new job and it feels it feels weird, bro. You know what I mean? And because you're in this landscape where your mind is open, there's all this vast area, you're able to spot what is not supposed to be there, right? We do all these things when we're kids where it's what is the thing that does not belong? Find the thing that's out of place. Find the thing that doesn't match, right? We're good at spotting these things. We're trained to, and it is innate to us. It's part of our survival. Here's a thing that probably I would think most people would be like, that's weird. Why do you do that? But I spend a few minutes every day. Now, sometimes I spend, a couple hours especially during the summer, where I will either look out a window or I'll go, out on the porch, or we live next to the woods, right? And we also have access to a little lake and stuff. And so there's a lot of layers of foliage and trees and grasses and animals and birds, and they're the same. Water, just a lot of stuff. If you've been to the forest, there's a lot of things to look at. And so I spend a few minutes every day just looking at it, but not I'm marveling at the beauty, although I am, because it is gorgeous. But I like to look through because I want to spot things that have changed since the last time I looked. I come from a family of indigenous people, and some of them, even up into my father's generation, were able to track. And so I don't know, I grew up around it a little bit. I don't know how to track myself, but I am drawn to, So I think this is good for pattern recognition. I also think it's something that we should use to develop our ability to see inconsistencies, to see changes, just to be aware of our environment. It's also good for your eyes. To be looking. It helps keep them sharper. But anyways, I feel like for you, you're in this space where you are able to notice yo, this does not belong here, right? And you can feel it, okay? So I do feel that it has something to do with love. It might be romantic. It does feel like something that You are questioning. Maybe this is a new relationship. Maybe this is an old relationship that is trying to be mended. But I do feel like you have enough separation that you can make a good choice, right? It's not like I'm so wound up into this person, we're entangled, or I'm obsessed, or you might be married, your finances are all together, your family, you love each other, but you're seeing something there that's like, all right, this needs to be looked at, right? I see that there's something here that says, and we said it had the word boy, it's like boy, oh boy, right? Boy, oh boy. This is something we really need to work on, or we need to address. Okay, so, not the best news, but also, in my opinion, really good news, because babe, I would rather be in a situation where when I see a red flag, I feel safe enough to be able to say, yo, like, this needs to be talked about. Like, this needs to, because I'm sure, like myself, I've had relationship dynamics, not just romantic, right? Family, especially, where I did not feel safe enough to say, like, this is like, I don't know what this is, or I don't understand this, or this makes me feel really unsafe, or WTF, like, question mark, like, I where you don't feel safe to say, like, what is going on, I don't agree, I cannot abide this, so to be able to see it and address it, that's a really good place to be in. Now, the fact that it's coming up, maybe not the best, right? Doesn't feel the best, but it's movement, right? We got to look at this and say, this is movement, and that is the blessing, because we're not stagnant in something that is going to become corrosive, right? Start to break us down, destroy parts of our life, because that can happen, when we see, like, there's something here, but I'm not gonna really, it will come back, babe. Believe that. With, like, and then those kinds of things, I mean, it's like the shadow, right? You stuff that stuff down, it grows, babe. It gets so much worse. And you're like, yo, what level are you on? Like, you went in just this little kind of problem, kind of, maybe a deal breaker even, but, like, not the worst. Comes out, you're like, on steroids. What happened in there when we were trying to avoid looking at that? So here we go. Let's see. We have a bear. It looks like a bear. We have the head, the little ear. Here are the eyes, the mouth open. Kind of almost reminds me of a teddy bear. We also have, it looks like the letter C. And, ooh, you just jumped right off of there. The letter C. We also have what looks like another bear, where the face would be here. Here's the eye, the nose. The nose is there, and then the mouth. This is like the little snout. And then here the ear, and it's looking this way. So I almost kind of feel like there's a back and forth. We have a person who's on a bicycle here too. Here's the head, here's the body, here's the front, like the handlebars, and then right here would be where the wheels are. My stomach is growling, I'm sorry. I apologize. Number 32. Number 17 right above it. 17, 32. The bear. What's up with the bear? I want to ask the tarot. Let's ask the tarot. I know, I'm silly. It's Friday when I'm filming this. It's Friday, you guys. It means I get to go train. I get to go do jiu-jitsu with my husband and tussle around on the ground, grapple around on the ground with each other. It's fun. I mean, it really is. It is an interesting dynamic to be learning combat with your husband. Yeah, I like it though. I think we have fun. Oh, we have the high priestess. Oh yes. Okay, so we have the priestess, and we have those bears. I want more context, babe. Ooh, okay, so we have an emotional, very emotional, demanding even. Demanding, emotional. Okay, maybe one more. Then we have the Ace of Cups. Wow, this is like, ooh, cruelty. Okay. We have two very emotional people, you being one of them, where when you both are empaths. That's the thing here, is that, like, okay, so we have two empaths, probably related, because you stick around. You don't just dip on these people, or this person. So it must be a family member, somebody you love dearly, but you feel each other's emotions when you get close to each other. It's like big swells of emotions, and a kind of like, ooh, the waves are crashing, and then it flows into the other, and then they really kind of grab those emotions, and then it goes back to you, and it's this back and forth, and you get stuck in these loops, and it becomes the Nine of Swords. It devolves into that. That's why I think it's a sibling. Because this is like when your parents, I don't know, how old are your kids supposed to be when they stay alone now? I mean, my daughter, she's lucky if... we all hang out together. I don't even know when she'll ever not be with us. You know what I mean? So I don't know. How old do they need to be before they can be left home alone? When I was a kid, it was like 7 or something. It was like absurd how young. But let's imagine we're like 12 years old. You're at home. Your parents are gone. You're play, brother, sister, brother, whatever mix of. You, start out okay, you're doing your own thing, then you start to playing, then you start to getting kind of like, oh, let's like, I'm from the 90s, so it would have been, let's power bomb each other off the couch and body slam each other off the couch, and let's, basically like wrestling was big back then, not with me so much, but I like doing the roughhousing, and you got this going, the energy is there, emotions are high, and then you hit that point where just somebody just you know what I mean, it's like, okay, I'm gonna snap now, and the cruelty. So I don't think that you guys are wrestling each other in the living room necessarily. Maybe you are. But there's just this like ever lasting loop of emotions, and you get into that bear mode, like beast, and there are just certain people in our lives that know us so well, and we know them so well, that all you could say one word, you could just breathe a certain way, and it's going to get them litty, right? Like they are going to be lit up, and this is your person, right? You are entangled in some kind of thing with them, and let's see if we have a 4 again. Let's see if we can see. We have, look at that. We have the crawdad. We also have the moon. Baby, the moon is already like just on me. We have that full moon coming up, and the eclipse, the full lunar eclipse, and it's just potent. Okay, so we also have the dog. We have like the moon, the whole deal. We have Anubis, we have melancholy and Saturn, we have the lunar energy of delusion, madness, just absolutely getting into those like deep, dark feelings. Maybe a sense of jealousy rising. I don't know about you, but nothing gets me. Well, no, that's not true. Um, like if anybody even looks at my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like if some stranger even looks in our direction. No, I'm kidding. Kind of. Not really. I am. I mean, look at the world. I mean, how could you not feel that way anymore? You know what I'm saying? So, that gets me that's the one. My daughter. That's why I'm learning how to do hand-to-hand combat. Not because of the boy. I'm not talking about the boy, like the boys chasing her or the girls chasing her, whatever. That's not even what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about the weird, the amount of weird, not fun weird in the world. The amount of cruel, the amount of danger, You know what I'm saying. I'm not trying to like gatekeep my daughter's happiness or anything. I don't trust nobody. But we have that lunar, that it just feels like it could be in that jealous sector, because that's the other potent one we have. And I don't mean like, you're jealous that your like ex-husband, is with some chick or something. That's not, I don't know if I'm allowed to say chick. I'm sorry. I'm from California, you guys. Also, I don't care. Also, to keep it real, I don't care. It's like a jealousy that almost you feel shameful about. It would be like, I imagine, again, I'm going to bring up kids and stuff. I almost think it would be like if you had like, so I have a daughter, and my daughter's like, she's so much cooler and smarter and beautiful and talented and funny. Oh my God. She's already so much more funny than me, and it drives me nuts. But you know what I mean? Like, I already know this. She's 5. I already know. It's a wrap on that. But it's like, I feel like it's like I read something the other day where it's like, if you come from a house where there was a lot of trauma, which I did, okay, and I'm not saying you did, maybe you understand, a hard childhood. I think we've all had moments, right? But like, if you come from a household of neglect, poverty, trauma, loss, whatever it is, instability, and then you're raising kids, right? And you've done a lot of self-work because something has to be done while you're having kids, right? I mean, even if you're not intentionally, it just happens. And you start to see them emerge as beings, and you see yourself in them, and you see them like your mannerisms, and even you look like them in the way that they smile, and you can almost be like slightly jealous that like I didn't get all the safety that they do, or I didn't have the opportunities, but you're the one giving it to them. So it's like irrational in a way, but it's also like, I see this in it. I hurt for my inner child. And maybe there is that little jealousy, that pain, that snap, that thing. And that's, that's like that's like a very complicated truth to have to look at. You know, to say it doesn't sound as like crazy or bad, but like to feel it and to go through that feeling, like really go through it, not just whatever. I'm just tired, you know, whatever we tell ourselves, but to really go through it and process it, integrate it, even hopefully, right? And that's healing. And the other side of that is being able to be like, yo, like I'm really, you know, getting to that, you know, point of parenting that I can kind of be a little bit proud of myself, right? And yeah, I'm using this as therapy a little bit here. I know. My examples are therapy. Let's keep it real. But I feel like there's this energy of like being in this place where you don't necessarily want to deal with this thing. You don't want to feel this thing. It feels like it's distorting kind of like the flow that you've kind of got going. But it's like an invitation to start to really undo whatever that blockage might be. Okay. And I feel, again, I'm going to say there's sadness there, there's pain there, there is guilt, shame, and a little bit of jealousy. So when you get that little magical mix of excrement, as the alchemists would say, that black bile, yeah, do not avoid it. You know, I understand if you do. Listen, I'm the master of doing gymnastics out of any kind of like uncomfortable feelings. But you know, it is worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. Let's do our lucky numbers. We'll do 3. Bing. 36. Which one is it? All right, we'll go 27 and 57. 57, 27. All right, babes, I love you. Thank you for being here with me. It is always such a great pleasure. If you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, it really helps the channel. Other than that, I'd like to say again, I love you. Thank you. We'll talk soon, and good night.